Greetings, Benjamin J. from BENZTRAINZ with another in the series. Well, I just want to do a follow-up on that Marx 400 that I built out of junk. And I've cobbled this motor together out of some real junk parts. I mean, bottom-of-the-line junk parts. And just got it finished. And I have installed a Lionel contactor in it. Now, when I put this together, I didn't want to use one of my good contactors. And so I looked around to see what I had, and I had this Lionel contactor off an old Lionel locomotive. So I ground it down to the right dimensions to make it fit between the two side plates. I also had to thin it out to clear the bottom of the motor. Anyway, I just got this reassembled and finished. I took the contactor and put a light bead of 5-minute epoxy on both sides and then tapped it back into position. And I put some decent brushes in it because this thing runs actually quite well. And then I took this old 400 body, made a drawbar out of a hacksaw blade, as you see. Got it mounted with a screw for right now. Anyway, I just wanted to do a quick video of the end result. This is up and running. So I just want to do a video to document it. Let's put this on the rail and we'll take it around and see how it runs. I just got it put back together. The front crossbar was stripped, so I put a new front crossbar on it. Got the screws installed, and it's ready to run. So power is on. Let's see how this goes. So as you see, it actually runs absolutely perfectly. Now this thing was made out of bottom-of-the-line junk parts. And like I said, I didn't know if it was going to run or how it was going to run, so I didn't want to use one of my good contactors. So since I had that Lionel contactor, I thought I would modify it and mount it on this Marx motor. And as you can see, this is running just absolutely perfectly. Far from perfect, but it sure does run good. I had that old 400 body, so stuck the motor in it. Didn't have a drawbar on it, so I made one out of a hacksaw blade. But as you can see, for being made out of junk, it was well worth the, I don't know, it probably took 2 hours altogether to put this together out of parts. But I just got that contactor epoxied in, I don't know, probably about 20 minutes ago. Something like that. Let the epoxy cure, it's up and running. This motor is running just splendidly. I did put some decent brushes in it, and really surprised at how well it's actually running. It runs forward only. I mean, this thing was just made out of junk, bottom-of-the-line junk parts. One of the brush springs is actually soldered in position, but as you can see, it was well worth the time it took to build this. Like I said, it's not perfect, but it runs good. It looks nice. And it cost absolutely nothing. Made completely out of junk parts out of my parts box. Not even good parts. That brush plate was in the parts box because it was just beat to death. Like I said, I had to solder one of the top brush spring into position just to get it to run at all. But as you can see, it's running just absolutely perfectly, and it's using a Lionel contactor. Like I said, when I built this, I didn't want to tie up one of my good contactors, so took that Lionel contactor, and like I said, I've got it epoxied in position. So I ground this to thin it out and made it a good friction fit. So I just put a really light bead of 5-minute epoxy on both sides of the contactor, and just tapped it back between the side plates of the motor. Now, as you can see, it actually works. It works quite well. So I cut the end off even with the side plate, front and rear, and it's up and running. Like I said, far from perfect, but a single reduction motor mounted in a Marx 400 body made entirely out of junk parts. So a Lionel contactor, this actually works quite well. And the drawbar is made out of a hacksaw blade. So it's up and running. Anyway, I just want to do a quick video on this. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to drop me an email. BENZTRAINZ gmail.com. And as always, thank you for watching.